Hello and welcome to the 2016-2017 school year. We are talking the first topic of the year. We are going to take you back to first grade, maybe it was second grade. When did you learn how to write a complete sentence? I truly don't know. But we're talking about that today. It is brought to you by the brilliant yet balding people of Daniels Incorporated. And sometimes I have a student who makes a face like this baby right here and says, do you really do I have to write in complete sentences, Mr. Daniels? Do I have to? And my answer is one word, and that word is yes, you have to. Let's get started. All right, hopefully you got your notes out here. What makes a complete sentence? Well, hey, number one, it must answer the question of who or what did something. We call that the subject. Secondly, it must answer the question of what did it do? That would be called the predicate. Once again, stuff you should have heard about before here. Let's give an example here. My example states, Indian Trail is the best. Now, I want you to look at that sentence, and I want you to think subject predicate here. First question, what is the subject? Underline that. What are they talking about? Who or what did something? Go ahead and do that right now on your piece of paper. Underline the subject. I see you. What? I think you got the right one. You maybe did. I don't know. What about the second part here? What is the predicate? I want you to do something here. You're going to circle the predicate. Now, quick check for you here. All the words of your sentence should either be underlined or circled. There are no words left because the first part is the subject, the last part is the predicate. Let's quickly give you the answer to do a little check for understanding here. The answers are Indian Trail should be underlined. That's the subject. And is the best is the predicate. Should be circled. Wonderful here. Well, hey, let's do a little subject predicate practice. What do you say here? Same format here. We're going to underline the subject, circle the predicate for each sentence below. Let's go ahead and try these out here. Number one, Mr. Daniels' hair is quite short. I take pride in that, by the way. Go ahead, underline the subject, circle the predicate. Remember, subject, who or what did something? Predicate, what did they do? Number two, Ohana lives here. Circling the subject. Actually, underlining the subject, circling the predicate. I get my words mixed up. Number three, Mr. Daniels' sons are adorable. Yes, they are. Shout out to my sons right now. My oldest son's getting ready to start kindergarten next week. Pretty stoked about that. Next sentence, number four, Indian Trail is going to rock at football. Are you kidding me? We got some great athletes out this year. I guarantee you the Cougars are going to be on the prowl, baby. Did you hear me, Chisholm? Santa Fe? We're out to get you, baby. Last one here. The 6th straight writing wall tells us all we need to know about writing. Give you some time to do some underlining, some circling. Hopefully you are done here. Well, hey, we're going to check over those answers tomorrow when you get back to class. Let's move on here. So there's a couple other things that are essential to make a complete sentence here. Number one, it absolutely is essential that every sentence begins with what we call a capital letter and ends with punctuation. Now, punctuation could be a period, a question mark, or an exclamation mark. You get to pick which one fits the sentence the best there. And you know what? Sadly enough, if you miss either one of those small things, you will lose points. You will. All right? Text message language is not going to lose. It's not going to lose you points if you bring that. It's going to lose you points if you bring that into my classroom. I always tell students they have a grammar switch on the side of their head. If you twist it, it's all there. You got to twist it, or some people you have to press a code to get it turned on. You'll find it there, and it's going to be absolutely fabulous. You'll do amazing things in language arts this year. All right, the importance of ending punctuation. You always have that student that says, But Mr. Daniels, it's just a period. Why do you take off a point if I didn't put the period on there? And yes, that's exactly what students sound like sometimes. Well, to answer you, why do I take off points for no ending punctuation? Well, for one, it takes less than a millisecond to write that little dot at the end of your sentence, so in my mind, you're lazy if you don't. End of story. Secondly, I will let the next slide do the talking here. What would happen if there were no periods? Do you wonder what it would be like if we lived in a world with no periods? This is what it would be like. This is what would happen. I would write and not really know when to stop talking, because the purpose of periods is to help me stop and take a breath, and I can't take a breath because nothing in this sentence tells me I need to stop, and I would just keep talking and praying, dear Lord, help stop this madness with all my heart that a period becomes, and finally does, quite frankly, I'm out of space here, and prolonging the sentence would anymore kill me. Oh, get the point? All right. Hey, let's finish with a little practice here. You're going to fill in the remainder. I can't even read here. It's been a long in-service day today. Fill in the remainder of your practice sheet. I have some sentences there for you, and you are going to find the incomplete sentences and be able to hopefully tell me how to make them correct. So please remember, quick review qualifications for a complete sentence are the following. Number one, it does have a subject, who or what did something. Number two, it has a predicate. It says, what did it do? Number three, there is a capital letter at the beginning. And number four, you can't forget the punctuation at the end. So I had one class a couple years ago that called it a dot. They called it a dot. I'm like, I don't care what you call it, just put the dot there, okay? Another class, my third hour class, like, nah, we don't want to call it a dot. I'm like, well, what do you want to call it? They're like, we want to call it a tilly willy. I'm like, all right, then put the stupid tilly willy on the paper. You're not doing it. So I don't care what you call that ending punctuation, but it does need to be there at the end of your sentence. Well, hey, I do believe that's it we have from Daniels Incorporated today. Thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day. We will see you tomorrow in class.